What's going on, everybody? Thanks for checking in with Callie. Please like, subscribe if you haven't. So I've said before, these playoffs here specifically might be the most exciting playoffs we've seen in a while. These playoffs here is going to really probably be like almost every series, I think, has an interesting tale to it. You can go from series to series, and even series that you might think that might not be that good, they probably are going to be even better than what you expect. Now, a lot of people might not be looking at one series specifically. The Phoenix Suns versus the Minnesota Timberwolves, that's going to be a very good series. I mean, of course, the Timberwolves, they are stacked. They are loaded with, size in the paint. They got Cat out there shooting threes. He'll be back, playing, of course. And, Anthony Edwards is just looking like, I'd say throughout most of the season, Anthony Edwards looked like he can be the next big thing in the NBA going forward in his career. You know what I'm saying? He could be definitely one of the top players in the NBA going forward. So, and the way he played, so far this year and everything, I was really impressed by him. I've been impressed by Anthony Edwards, honestly. I think Ant-Man is really... I've been said, a couple seasons ago, I said it's got to be Ant-Man's team if they're going to go anywhere, because Ant-Man, to me, was a lot better than Karl Anthony Towns, even though the team used to be, Cats. But, they had to give it to AE because Ant-Man is just a different level type player to me. He's like a generational type talent. So when I look at him, the way their team is constructed, the way they play defense, the size they have with Gobert in the paint, and, they got some good, following pieces. That's going to be a very interesting series. I personally, it can go either way, honestly. I personally think it's going 6 or 7 games also. I wouldn't be surprised if Phoenix comes out of that series. I really wouldn't be, because you're talking about Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal. If Bradley Beal's healthy, they could win it. They can win that series, even though a lot of people probably got Minnesota winning that series. The Suns could win it because that's experience. And, Devin Booker can get you a bucket at any time. So can Kevin Durant. It's that series is going to be highlights, dude. Highlights all day long. And then, of course, we all know about the one that's like, the Mavs versus the Mavericks versus the Clippers is going to be, we don't even really have to probably speak on that one too much, because as I spoke on it before, you've just listened to my other previous few videos. Just go back and listen to them, and you'll hear all the hoopla about that matchup, because we all know that matchup is going to be just probably the most exciting first round matchup in the playoffs. You got, Kawhi, Luka. Now you got Kyrie versus PG, you know what I'm saying? Like and then, the Clippers got James Harden. The Mavericks been playing the best basketball the latter part of the season up until this point. The Clippers at one point won like 25 out of 30 games, when Kawhi was just like looking like the best player in the league, which I think he is when he's healthy. If anything, most people would, agree with me, at least at bare minimum, he's top 3, top 5 in the league when he's healthy. But I personally think he's the best player in the league when he's healthy, because, at his best, he's the best player on the floor. It's not even close to me. You can probably make a case, of course, for like a LeBron James or somebody like that, but I think he's eclipsed LeBron just in regards to, him being younger and him being able to dominate a game on both ends of the floor. LeBron can't do that the way he once could. He can dominate at times, but he can't do it consistently as he once could, because if he could, his team wouldn't be in the playing tournament. They'd be a 3rd, 4th, 5th seed, you know what I'm saying, or something like that, in his prime, in his heyday. But even still, LeBron's an all-time great, so we really can't compare nobody to him, because he's just, played a lot longer and been in the league since like '03. It's been in the league since I was like in high school, damn near, or something like that. So, it's like, it's the time he's put in is definitely recognized. But like I said before, the Mavs and Clips is going to be an epic series. Like I said, I expect it to go 7 games. I would like to see the Clippers take it in 5, because they have the team to dominate and go out there and just kill, the Mavericks. But sometimes the Clippers seem to play with their food too damn much, and that just kind of worries me about them a little bit. But for the most part, like I said, I think that's going to be a great series. And then, of course, I definitely want to see, what the Thunder is going to do. SGA, he's been awesome this whole year. I think he should be, honestly, I think he should get the MVP for what he's done and not having like other superstar talent with him. He just kind of carried that team himself, even though, Chet Holmgren was a surprise, playing very well. And, Jay Will on that team played very well also. He got some good, pieces, following pieces behind him. But I definitely think that's, a very interesting, situation there that they have there. Even with Josh Giddey, he plays very well also. But like I said, what they were able to accomplish this year and get the number 1 seed has been very impressive. So I want to see how they look in the playoffs. Denver's trying to repeat. And then you got the Eastern Conference. I mean, the Celtics are like, 64-18. They're like, 14 games beyond the number 2 seed over there, which they just been, demolishing teams pretty much all year and haven't really let their foot off the gas. But the times that they have, they've really looked very, very shaky. You know what I'm saying? So I really want to see what they look like because, I mean, damn. They had a lot of 20, 30-point leads this year that they let just dwindle down. Other team came back and beat them, not have a 30-point lead or 20, 25-point lead and the team come back and tie it and they find a way to win. The other team came back and actually beat the Celtics. And a lot of people made excuses for the Celtics, especially the media, saying, oh, well, the Celtics are kind of bored right now, which is the reason why they're playing this way. But as I said before, little things like that become problems in the long run. So we'll see what happens with the Celtics. And the Knicks have really surprised me over there. They're the number 2 seed. I personally think it might be the Knicks and the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. I personally think that's what's going to happen. I could be wrong, but, don't hold me to that. But definitely, I think that's how it can unfold. I think that the Knicks and the Celtics could be in the conference finals. And I can't believe I'm saying this, and I don't want you guys to, but I kind of would like to see the Knicks in the finals. That's just my opinion. I would like to see the Knicks in the finals. I just really would. I don't know why. Like I said, I think Jalen Brunson is dope, whatever. You know what I'm saying? What he's been doing. I definitely, think, man, if he could have, I definitely, of course, Luka on the Mavericks is definitely glad he got Kyrie Irving. But for some reason, I still believe that they would be a lot better team with Jalen Brunson. I really do, because I feel like Jalen Brunson was not a big personality, not a big ego type guy. He just came in there and did his job and found ways to be effective. And if Luka could have just been a little bit more less ball usage type player, then it might could have worked out. And who knows how far they can go. I personally think, that they could have been a lot better a lot sooner before they even got Kyrie. But, that's another story, another day. It's not going to happen now. But shout out to Jalen Brunson, what he's doing over there. And now with Embiid back, I want to see what he can do, with the Sixers. And if he can, get past the Heat in the play-in tournament, which I believe he can. That's going to be a very tough one. And just kind of go from there and see what happens from, that standpoint. That's going to be awesome. And then one of the interesting first round matchup in the Eastern Conference that I thought to be interesting, more than what some people might be talking about, also might be the Bucks and I believe it's the Indiana Pacers. Now, that's going to be a very interesting matchup because, don't get me wrong, I still think the Bucks can take that because they got Giannis and they do got Dame. But when you look at the team and the way Doc Rivers has had them since he's took over that team, there's not really probably one other team in the league that looks more shakier than them because they have nights where they look really good. They have nights where they look really piss poor. And they have nights where they look kind of sort of average. You know what I'm saying? They never really look like a team that they never give you the feel like they can put it all together. And to me, Doc River teams always seem to have that feel. The only team he's had that ever really put it together like that was the big 3 or big 4 on the Boston Celtics back in the day. But basketball was a lot different. The game was different. And, KG and Paul Pierce and Ray Allen and Rajon Rondo, you could probably put any coach with that team and they'll probably excel. It's just really not that hard. That's too much firepower. That's defense. That's intensity. That's a lot of guys with big egos, and that's a lot of guys on there that's crazy, especially KG. And Paul Pierce was a killer back in the day too with the lethal jumper, and Ray Allen in the corner. Trust me, the jump shot is basically direct deposit. It's automatic. So you didn't have to worry about that. So that really wasn't that hard for that team, or didn't seem that difficult anyway. But my point is, the Doc Rivers now, I don't really think his scheme and his logic really fits this era of basketball, which is the reason why I think his coaching style is a hinder to a team more than a help, which is the reason why teams that play for Doc Rivers or play with Doc Rivers, players that play with him, seem to struggle a lot more than they actually excel. I mean, look at the Clippers. I mean, he had a 3-1 lead with them like 2 or 3 times over. I think when Chris Paul was there, when Kawhi Leonard was there, or which is still there, and, he had a flame out some other place, I think with the 76ers, I believe. Now he's with Milwaukee. I just don't think Milwaukee is really a contender like a lot of people believe they are. But who knows? Maybe they can find a way to pick it up and go forward. But I think that Indiana Bucks series is going to be very, very interesting, because I think if it goes 7 games, I think Indiana can beat them, because Indiana, at least in the beginning of the season or earlier part of the season, they was like the highest scoring team in the league. And they actually made it to the finals in the play-in tournament against the Lakers, and they lost, but they was the highest scoring team in the league. I think they still are, like maybe second. Maybe they might have fallen second or third, something like that, but they were the highest scoring team in the league. So they can put up points. And Halliburton is awesome. I'm not even gonna lie. Tyrese Halliburton has been, I've been watched his game before he even turned into a star player that he is now. He is legit. He really is. So don't get me wrong. There could be a couple games in there where they drop like 135 on the Bucks, and the Bucks can't keep up. You know what I'm saying? Offensively. So, you never know how that series is going to go. I think that's the most interesting series in the Eastern Conference, at least in the first round, until we see other matchups and things like that. But like I said, these playoffs are going to be really good. Definitely, something to look forward to. And I'm definitely looking forward to some surprises in the playoffs, because I can definitely see some upsets, or maybe, some big time shots. I don't know if we're going to ever see, hopefully maybe Kawhi can, do a, game 7 buzzer beater or something like that. In the playoffs, that'd be awesome if we could see something like that again, especially, in his favor, of course. But I think these playoffs are going to present a lot of challenges and a lot of great matchups and a lot of exciting basketball. And I'm excited for it. And I just can't wait.